Hi, welcome to my channel, Math Made Easy with Laurel. I'm Laurel, and in this video we're going to talk about decimal place values and rounding. When you look at numbers greater than 1, so these digits to the left, you've learned place values previously. You've learned that the first digit represents how many ones there are in that number. The next digit is tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, 10 millions, 100 millions, billions, and so on. So each of those digits can be represented by that power of 10. So this would be 9 ones, this would be 8 tens, this would be 7 hundreds, and 100 is 10 to the power of 2. This would be 6 times 10 to the power of 3, 5 times 10 to the power of 4, and so on. In this video, I want to focus on the place values of the decimal part of the number. So if we were to take a look at the right, with each place value, as you move right, your place value is divided by 10. So if this is ones, the next place value would be tenths. So whatever digit you have here, that's how many tenths you have. So in this case, we would have 0 tenths. The next digit represents the number of hundredths. So that would be 1/100th in this case. So what we have is tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000ths, millionths, 10 millionths, 100 millions, billions, and so on. It's important to understand what digit is in what place value, especially when you're asked to round off. So let's take a look at how we round off decimal values. So if you're given a number 2.1345 and you're asked to round off to the nearest tenth, first of all, you look at the digit in that tenths position, and you need to determine whether when you drop these digits it stays a 1 or increases to 2. In order to do that, you look at the digit following. If this is 4 or less, this number stays the same. If it's 5 or greater, you round up, it increases by 1. There are 10 digits in total. So any digits 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are in the bottom half. So our digit would stay the same. The other 5 digits are in the upper half, or greater than half, and if your number following is any of these digits, then you increase, you round up. So if I was asked to round off to nearest tenth, I look at the number in the tenth spot and then I look at the number behind it. If that number is any of these 5 digits, this stays the same. It is, so this stays 2.1. If I was asked to round off to the nearest hundredth, again, I'm deciding whether this stays as 2.13 or whether I round up to 2.14. The way I determine that is I look at the digit following. This is in this bottom half, so this digit stays the same. It will round off to 2.13. If I'm asked to round off to the nearest thousandth, I'm trying to determine whether this stays a 4 or if it increases. So I look at the digit behind it. It's 5, it's in the upper half, so that means I have to round up. So that will be 2.135. Let's take a look at another example. Asks us to round 0.6487 to the nearest tenth. So does this stay 0.6 or does it round up to 0.7? This number determines whether it stays 0.6 or rounds up to 0.7. It's 4, which is in the lower half, so this stays 0.6. If we're asked to round off to the nearest hundredth, we have to determine whether that stays a 4 or rounds up to a 5. This 8 tells us we need to round up. So when we round this to the nearest hundredth, it will be 0.65. And if I was asked to round off to the nearest thousandth, I look at the 7, the digit following. It's in the upper half, so I would round up. It would be 0.649. Let's look at one last example. If we were asked to round this off to the nearest tenth, that's a 1 following it, so it stays 0.7. If I was asked to round off to the nearest 100th, that increases that, so it rounds off to 0.72. And if I was asked to round off to the nearest thousandth, the digit following is a 9, so I would increase this. To increase the 9, I have to increase this digit as well. I have to increase, another way you can think of it is I have to increase the 19 to a 20. So this increases, which causes this to increase. So I would round that off to the nearest thousandths by writing it as 7.20. It's closer to 7.20 than it is 0.719. Know your place values so that you can round off to the appropriate place, and also know the rules for rounding. When does the digit stay the same and when does it increase by 1?